Welcome to your Purifying Strength class, and this will be about building strength in the body, and we'll be focusing a lot around the navel center. So what this tends to do is to build heat with the breath and the movements, and we work with our core, but this actually helps to dissolve what you might have heard of the lower three chakras. So the base chakra kind of representing fear, second chakra around attachment, and then the third chakra around ego. And so they say in the tradition that in these areas, these lower three chakras is where we tend to hold our subconscious patterning that may hold us back from actually seeing our own unique power and light. So bring that into the intention today. We'll be working with a 1-to-1 breath ratio. So let's start by actually lying down on your back. Just allowing yourself to actually start the class in what feels like Shavasana. Heels a little wider than your hips, the palms face up and the shoulders rolling down and away from the ears. And allow the eyes to close just for a moment. Allowing yourself to come to the present moment, and it's a chance to check in with how you're feeling physically, mentally, and emotionally. Potentially, maybe one of those lower three chakras feels more dominant in terms of feeling like you get stuck in a cycle of fear or attachment or identifying with ego. Or it might just be a combination of all of them. The intention for the class is to start to purify the navel center so we can start to deconstruct these patternings. Please now just start to engage your Ujjayi breath and start to work towards a rhythm of 1-to-1 breathing. Eyes still closed, just establishing your breath, starting to link breath, body, and mind. And now on your next inhale, raise your arms up over your head and flex the feet. And exhale, the arms come down and the feet relax. Do this 4 more times, working with a 1-to-1 breath ratio. Inhale, arms come up overhead, feet flex, feeling the collarbones lift up and wide. And as you exhale, navel pulls in as the arms come down. Feet relax. 3 more. Inhale. Start to establish your own unique rhythm of breath. Exhale. So if the instructions don't quite match with your breath, just go with your own rhythm. It's completely okay. 2 more. Last one. Keep the hands by the side of the body, palms face down. And now just draw your knees in towards you. And now same movement with the arms as the legs go vertical. So as you inhale, legs go vertical and arms come up over the head, flexing the feet so the heels push towards the ceiling. And exhale, arms come down, the knees rebend. Do it 4 more times, 1-to-1 breathing. Inhale, legs going up. And exhale, arms coming down. And try to make it so there's no pauses in your inhale and exhale. Effortless and smooth breathing and smooth transitioning of postures. 2 more times. I'll keep emphasizing throughout the practice to come back to this 1-to-1 breath rhythm. Really trying to establish this center of balance. Let's go up 1 more time. Legs go up, the arms come up overhead. And then keeping the legs vertical, just allow the hands to come back down by the side of the body, palms face down, and just lower your right heel, just hovering above the ground. Left heel stays up and both toes are flexing towards the face. Kick into your right heel a little more and into the left heel a little more, creating a right angle or an L shape with your legs. If there's shaking, this is just breaking up the inertia that might be stuck in the lower parts of the body, physically or psychologically. Switch legs. Inhale, right leg comes up and the left leg goes down. So we might be starting with simple postures, but it can be extremely challenging if there is a lot of processing that needs to occur in the body on a physical level, which is really just our psychological stuff coming up to the surface. Inhale, left leg comes up to meet the right. Keep the legs kicking up towards the ceiling. Now bring the arms out to a T position and then drop the legs halfway to your left. Kick into the right heel. We're not wanting the legs to go all the way down, but try to keep both shoulder blades on the mat, twisting from the navel center. There may be a bit of shaking going on, and if you need to bend the knees to make this a little more accessible for you, you're most welcome. 1-to-1 breathing. I know it's tough. Try and keep a steady breath. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, legs go halfway to your right. Kick now into the top heel, the left heel. The left shoulder remains on the mat, using the strength of your core here. With each exhale, the navel twists a little more to the left. 1-to-1 breathing, noticing where the breath might be getting stuck or feeling coarse on inhale or exhale. And just aim to smooth it out. Inhale, come all the way back up to center. Bring the arms back by the side of the body. And we'll do this little leg variation again. So right heel comes down, it hovers just above the mat. Both legs flexed. 1-to-1 breathing. Just a couple more breaths here. Just allow your body to shake if it is. It's just stuff coming up to the surface. Inhale, right leg comes up and switch sides. Exhale, left leg goes down. And usually we think of the floor poses as the easy poses. And in a way, it feels nice when we're lying on our back, but we can still be extremely challenged in simple postures like this. Really try and pull the navel in on exhale. Feel your back strengthening. Inhale, left leg comes up. And now exhale and try to descend the legs as slowly as possible to the ground. You may even like to sit on your thumbs or your hands to make that feel better in your low back. And just over the next 20 seconds or so, start to allow the legs to come down. If you feel any lifting in the lower back, just try and push it into the floor more or bend your knees a little more. And then allow the legs to land. Take your hands out from underneath your seat and just allow yourself to take pause here in one-to-one breath rhythm. And now we'll roll over to our belly. Come to line your stomach and bring your hands just next to the chest, the forehead down, tops of the feet down. A little bit more back strengthening before we come to a little counter pose. So inhale, just lift the chest as much as you can without using the strength of your hands. Just lift the chest, tops of the feet, the knees stay down. Exhale, come down. One-to-one breathing. Let's do this 4 more times. Inhale, come up. And exhale, come down. Smooth breath, continuous movement. Inhale, come up. Trying not to pause at the top of inhale or exhale, but keep the breath and the movement continuous. Just 2 more times. Inhaling, coming up. Squeezing the elbows in, using your back strength. Shoulders rolling away from the ears. The exhale, the forehead comes down. 1 more time. Inhale, come up. And exhale, come down. Now from here, tuck the toes. If you need to come onto your knees before coming into plank, or even doing a plank variation on your knees, which I'll show you, come up into plank. So push into the ground. If you're on your knees, you stay here. If you want to come off your knees, you just tuck the toes and you let the knees come off the mat. Having a straight line from shoulders, hips, legs, and just take 3 more breaths here, pushing into the hands, pushing the heels back, inner thighs, lifting, engaging. Equal breath, and then push back to downward facing dog. Nice release for the back here. Hips raising high. Chin in, maybe even looking towards your navel. If it's the time of day that you're practicing and it's your first practice in the morning or the evening, you know you've got tight hamstrings, just let your hips raise higher as you bend your knees. And now please step your right foot between your hands. Left heel comes down and come all the way up to standing with both legs straight. And we start this little Parsvottanasana version. So right hand comes to the sacrum, slight flex in the front right knee, and the left arm comes up. On inhale, reach up. Exhale, tuck the chin, reach forward with your left hand and start to fold over the front leg. Inhale, come all the way up, leading with the arm first, and exhale, descending 4 more times. Equal breath As you exhale, try and make that the same length as your inhale. Continuous movement, continuous breath. Purifying body, breath, mind. Just start to notice how you're feeling by this continuous movement. If there is any stagnation that's being shook up, any inertia that is being broken through, next time let's go down. Chin in as you exhale, fold down, reach, stay down now. Left fingertips on the mat or on a block if that suits you. And now we come into a twist. From here, if you can, ideally place your fingertips or your hand on the block outside of the right foot, on the little toe side. We start to twist open. The beautiful thing about keeping the right hand on the sacrum is we actually have to roll from the navel here, opening right shoulder. And then once we establish that, you can start to lift your right fingertips up towards the ceiling. And if it feels safe in your neck, looking towards the fingertips. Equal breathing, both legs firm. Feel as though the shins are drawing in towards each other. The back heel and little toe should be on the mat. Twisting from the navel, maybe even feeling the tailbone tuck under a little bit, finding more space. And then allow the hand to come down, step back to downward facing dog. As we come back in this symmetrical pose, just notice how one side of the body is feeling. Left foot steps forward. Right heel comes down and come all the way to standing. And now your left hand comes to the sacrum, the palm facing back, and the right arm reaches high. Remember that slight flex in the front right knee so it's a little bit loose, not completely locked out. Now inhaling, reaching up with the right arm, exhale, chin in and fold forward. Reaching long with the right arm and try and draw from the upper right arm as you come back, keeping it alongside your ear. Breath and movement seamless. No stopping in the action. Continue 4 more times. Using your Ujjayi breath, that slight constriction at the back of the throat, and keeping the chin tucked in on both the movement down and the movement up. So we keep the spine long. We help to lengthen the right side body. 2 more times. If at any point the right arm reaching forward is too strong, on the movement down, you can always sweep it back to the sacrum. 1 more time. Exhale, chin in, reaching forward. And we stay down now. Fingertips meeting down towards the mat or a block. Chin in here. And before we come to moving into the twist, just take a look at your back foot and notice whether the leg's engaged, whether the little toe and all the toes and the complete sole of the foot is on the mat. And if it's not, just make sure that you work towards getting the whole foot planted here. And now right fingertips come to the outside of your left foot, the little toe side. And to begin, we just start with rolling open the left chest, keeping the left hand on the sacrum. And when you establish the strength and the twisting coming from the core instead of your neck and head, then you can release the left arm and come up. Left arm is vertical, and if it feels safe in your neck, you're looking towards left fingertips. One-to-one breathing. If you're noticing body shaking or breath feeling a little erratic, just lessen the intensity of the pose. Let go of needing to do it all perfectly or do it in a way that you think it needs to be done. Actually just try and experience it. And if it's feeling shaky today, try it again tomorrow and see how it feels. It might just be what's going on psychologically or even astrologically at the moment. There's a lot happening. One more breath, reaching up with the left fingertips. And exhale, step back to downward facing dog to adjust. Chin in, and now notice how this pose feels, whether it feels any more balanced, which is a state we're trying to achieve. Start to balance both sides of the body. We balance the breath and the mind with this one-to-one breathing. When we start to work with the navel center, we balance psyche by dissolving and purifying these less than constructive patterns that hold us back from seeing our unique light. Bend your knees after your exhale, look between your hands and step forward. And just fold over the legs. Exhaling. Bring your hands to your hips, keep the chin tucked in, and inhale to come all the way back up to standing. And pause, feet hip distance apart, hands relaxing by the side of the body. And try and just keep your eyes open here, as tempting as it is to close them down. Keeping your feet hip distance apart, we move into dynamic chair pose. Equal breath in, equal breath out, continuous movement. Inhaling, bring the arms up. As you exhale, lower the hips down, and towards the end of your exhale, lower the chest onto the thighs and the hands come to the sides of the feet, head and neck resting down. Inhale, come back into chair and push up to standing. Exhale again. Hips come down, knees bend and fold down. Hands next to feet, head and neck relaxes. Inhale, come back into chair, keep the hips low, reaching up, and then push all the way up to standing. 3 more times. Exhale, hips descend, arms still reaching high until that last moment when you pivot forward and fold. One-to-one breathing, continuous breath and movement. Exhale, go down. Inhaling. Have one more time. Exhale, navel in, back strength. You may even feel your hips burning a little. Inhale, come up. And relax the arms down. Again, keeping the eyes open. If you feel like you're building heat, and if your blood pressure might have even felt like it lowered a little bit, just allow the chin to draw in a little bit closer towards the chest. Check in with your heart rate, what your breath is doing. And then connect on a mental, emotional, and psychological level. Keep your feet hip distance apart. I'll just show you this technique called Agnisara. You may have done it before. Essentially, the feet are going to stay hip distance apart. We'll bring our hands to our knees. You may like the fingertips resting just over the knees lightly, or even having the fingertips facing inward. And from the front side, that's what it looks like. And from a side angle, it looks like this. So on the inhale, you'll see a slight dip and arch in my low back. Then as I exhale, I tuck the tailbone in, tuck the chin in, and pull up with the lower part of the abdomen, moving all the way into the upper abdomen. Release the belly, and then inhale. So again, I'll just explain this movement. So as we inhale, there's a slight dip in the low back, the tailbone rises. And as you exhale, draw the tailbone in, tuck in, feel as though you're contracting all the way from the feet, lower abdomen, upper abdomen. You might even want to hold the breath out, then release the belly and inhale. We'll do this a few more times and just notice what might be coming up here. Exhale. Release the belly before you inhale. Make sure that you're not looking too far forward when you inhale, just a soft gaze down. Exhale, you re-engage, tucking the tailbone under, contracting all the way from the feet, the legs, lower abdomen, upper abdomen. And then as you release and start to inhale, you release from the top of the abdomen in the exact opposite order. Let's do it 3 more times, wherever you are. Work with contracting the navel. Use the strength of the navel. Remember, we're purifying the lower 3 chakras. We want to start to move beyond fear so we can be stable and secure. We want to move beyond attachment so we can love unconditionally. We want to move beyond ego so we can actually move into our own unique willpower, determination. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. And just notice what may have shifted for you. Taking this moment to pause, continuing now again with one-to-one breath rhythm. And as you exhale, slide the hands down the backs of the legs, folding all the way down into Uttanasana. Just take a few moments here, taking a chance to re-establish your one-to-one breathing. Please step back to downward facing dog. On your next inhale, the knees come down to all fours. And as you exhale, chin in, the hips go back towards the heels. This simple movement of chakra vakrasana. So inhale as you come up, all fours, equal breath. And exhale, hips move back, chin tucks in, the elbows bend, all before the forehead comes to meet down on the mat. Just 3 more times. Should feel really nice on the spine. done a fair bit of strengthening. And exhale. So this should just start to smooth out and even out any of the tensions that might have built up in the body, particularly in the low back area. And one more time. Exhale, chin in, hips back, elbows bending. Now please come to sit back up onto your heels. And I'm going to just turn this way for this next little breath practice. We're just going to do about a minute of Kapalabhati. So keeping the palms face down on the thighs and sitting on your heels if that's comfortable for you. And let's begin. So breathing in and out of the nose, Kapalabhati, where we focus on the exhale and the inhale naturally draws in. And starting whenever you're ready. Keep going. So I just explain a little bit more about the technique. The body should be trying to remain as still as possible while the navel's drawing in towards the back body. If it helps, you can close the eyes down, just feeling the space inside of you being purified, as well as the space outside of you. Just a few more breaths. And breathe all the air out and return back to your one-to-one breathing. Feeling a sense of purification inside and outside of the body. A couple of last postures before we descend down to Ashavasana. Extend the legs out in front of you for Paschimottanasana. We're going to do this with a combination of Navasana. So I'll show you what it looks like. So turn the inner thighs out so you're resting on the sits bones. And we'll inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, I'm going to fold forward, reaching forward with the arms. If you need to sit on a cushion or bend the knees a little bit to keep the spine long, please do. And inhale, the arms will come up. And then exhale, I'll join the hands into like a pistol grip. And I'm going to lower down to Navasana, a really low Navasana. So here, pretty soon, you'll feel quite shaky. So inhale, you'll come all the way back up. And then exhale, you release the hands back down. We're going to do that 3 times. So if you joined in with me just then, you get an extra round. So inhale, arms raise up. Exhale, chin in and start to fold forward. Remember to bend the knees so the spine's long. We're not damaging hamstrings. Inhale, reach up with the arms. Hands lower down, upper body lowers down, and the legs lift. So the toes about in line with the eyes. And take just a few more breaths here. Inhale, come up. Exhale, fold forward. Keep going. Inhale, come all the way back up, reaching up. Exhale, lowering back to Navasana. Try and get your body a little lower, keeping the shoulder blades off the mat and the toes in line with the eyes. Squeezing the legs together, squeezing the palms together. Inhale, come up. Exhale, fold forward over the legs Try not to let your ego get in the way. If your back is rounding, bend the knees. Inhale, come up. Exhale, lower down, Navasana. This is the last one. Give it all you've got. Feel the strength in the navel center, building the fire, purifying the lower chakras, getting rid of what is no longer constructive. Inhale, come up. Relax the hands by the side of the body. Keep the feet flexed and the palms just gently resting by the hips. And lift up in the torso. Feel light, feel strong. And then come to lie down onto your back, bending the knees, feet hip distance apart. And just to alleviate any back tension, let's just move in and out of bridge pose just 4 times without moving the arms. Just keep them next to your side. So inhale, the hips will come up. And exhale, the hips will descend. 3 more times. Just a really even breath in, smooth in transition, working in accordance with your breath. Breath, movement, linked. Body, mind, psyche, balanced and purified. One more time. And then you can even just hug the knees in towards your chest and doing any final adjustments that you might need before moving into your Shavasana. And just take your time now to set up for surrendering into your Shavasana, legs extending long, heels a little wider than hip distance apart. You might even have a blanket nearby to just drape over you. The shoulders relaxing away and down from the ears. Eyes are closed. And please now just take 3 balanced breaths in and out to allow yourself to transition into involuntary breathing. When you've taken your 3 balanced breaths, just let the breath go and connect now to your body just resting on the mat. And as you feel your body resting, after working pretty hard in the asana part of the practice, please bring your attention now to both of your heels, right and left, and just notice whether you have more awareness in one heel or the other. And try and balance the two. Not overthinking it, but just allowing the body to balance. Please do the same at the knees, behind the knees, where they rest towards the mat. Bringing attention to left and right, and if one side is more dominant, try and balance the energy between the two. The hips, the whole pelvis, softening and balanced. The wrists, balancing left and right. Shoulders, balanced, relaxed. Both sides of the chest, the breastbone, completely balanced. Left and right ear. Sensing any imbalance and try to bring back the balance between the two. Eyes, left and right eye balanced. And the nostrils, feeling the breath move in through both nostrils at the same time, feeling an equal flow of breath, energy or prana moving through both nostrils. And extending that even a little further as you breathe in and sense the breath in both nostrils. Please now feel both sides of the brain balanced, creating this sense of light or energy in the brain center, which then extends to the whole body. Resting now in your own unique light. And please now just invite your breath awareness to return to the body, and the sense of sound to return to the ears. And as your breath starts to deepen now, feeling it start to oxygenate all the cells in the body, ever so gently waking up the nervous system, moving fingers and toes, rolling wrists and ankles, bending your knees and rolling to your right side. Just taking a few moments in the fetal position, just on the right side so we don't shock the nervous system. There's not a lot of pressure being put on the heart when we roll to the right side. And just establish this sense of balance. And when you're ready, please come to find your seat for pranayama and meditation. Whether you're sitting in a chair or on the floor, Just choose the most comfortable position for you. If you are sitting in a chair or against the wall, just make sure it's your low back that's in contact and the upper back and the neck is actually supporting itself. Resting the arms, the hands in a comfortable position that you'll be able to maintain for the next 10 or 15 minutes or so. And as you rest in your seat, just take a chance to re-establish yourself with being present. And remember the experience of the practice that we've just done. Purifying, strengthening, balancing. Coming back to your 1-to-1 breath ratio. Really emphasizing that it's not to be strained when you're doing your pranayama. So just work with a 1-to-1 rhythm that feels comfortable for you in this moment right now. It may be completely different in an hour or tomorrow or in a week. So just work with this unique rhythm in the present moment. And we'll start to prepare for alternate nostril breathing. Most of you are now fairly familiar with this technique. So we bend the elbow of the right hand and gently place the thumb where the bone and cartilage meet on the right nostril, the ring finger on the left side. We'll take an inhale in together. No pressure on the nostrils just yet. And exhale through the mouth. Breathe all the air out. Now block right nostril with the thumb. Inhale left. Block left and exhale right. Equal breath in and out. Inhale right. And exhale left. Please continue here. Inhaling left. And exhaling right. I'll just coach you for the next couple of breaths and I'll leave you to be in silence. Inhale right. And exhale left. Continuing 1-to-1 breath ratio, working at your unique pace right now. And maybe even visualizing the breath moving into the opposite hemisphere of the brain as you inhale. And it's as though it makes this infinity shape as it crosses over and descends as you exhale. On both sides of the central channel are balanced, what is known as sushumna. It allows the energy to move into this channel a little bit more easily. So there's 3 channels, basically left, middle, and right. And by balancing the breath and the left and the right channels, it makes this central channel, sushumna, more accessible for energy to enter into. Creating this beautiful sense of balance, purification. as though the left and the right sides could almost be represented as snakes coiling around a stick, like the symbol of the caduceus. And we'll do one more round wherever you are. And a complete round is when you'll be exhaling out of the left nostril. Please don't rush. Just get there in your own time. And when you do, relaxing the hand back down to where it was comfortably resting. And then just allow the breath to find its effortless flow now. Feeling left and right side of the brain, side of the body balanced. No need to pull in the breath with so much effort or even to exhale, but just feel it naturally flowing on its own, involuntarily. And now we move into the Nishta Dharana practice, a meditation which is focused at the navel center. So please now bring your attention to the navel center and purely just become aware of the breath moving in and out. Not shaping the breath, but aware of the navel moving out on inhale and the navel drawing in towards exhale, towards the spine. Just continuing there, resting in the navel center. Just for a moment, we consider this center as where for the first 9 months or so of our life, we rest in the space of the womb where we're carried in this beautiful vitality and nurturance. And this center can be related to the strength of the sun. So now in this navel center space, just start to imagine a 6 to 8 inch radius of a circle around the navel center. Whether you're visual or just sensing a presence encompassing the navel center and still connected to the movement of inhale and exhale. And this circle that encompasses the navel could almost be related and parallel to the strength of the sun. Starting to feel that power, that will, the strength that resides within you, your own unique power. Still holding your attention at this space. Start now to feel this circle expand as you inhale. Feeling the whole body and outside of the body with light. And as you exhale, as though it distributes even more light to anywhere that you decide to place your attention. Continuing here, now more so focusing on inhale, expanding, and exhale, helping to distribute the light at the navel center, as though it's this concentrated light. So powerful. We're not trying hard mentally, we're just allowing the strength and the potency of the practice to start to reveal itself to you. The center of confidence, willpower, spontaneity, and determination. When your body starts to become so light inside and outside of you, just relax the technique. Allow the breath to be as subtle as possible. Maybe even barely feeling a need to breathe. So gentle. If you want to stay in meditation, you're more than welcome. If you feel like now is the time that you need to come out of the practice, just start to bring yourself back to your breath rhythm, to where it's seated now. And then allow your breath to move in through both nostrils. And see the breath move out just the left nostril. Breathe in both nostrils. Breathe out the right nostril. In both and out both. Lowering your chin, bringing your hands to meet to close the practice. Always a chance to express gratitude to yourself and to your teacher and teachers' teachers, as we honor the light in each other by saying namaste. And if you found that particular meditation rather challenging, which it can be to focus at the navel center, some wise words that might help you in this is try not to judge your practice by the experience that you have in it, but rather try and judge your practice by the way that your life evolves because of it. So one way to really notice this is doing a consistent practice using the same techniques. And these techniques aren't easy, and they're not always what gets you into a blissful state, but often it's the more challenging practices that help us to evolve in our life as we start to break down all of these subconscious patternings. Have an awesome day.